There's been a lot of finger pointing since Democrats lost Ron Kind's congressional seat in western Wisconsin this week. Some blame national Democrats for pulling their ad spending there. Political reporter Will Keneally has this post-mortem on the race.
Democrats did better than expected in the third, but that doesn't make William Garcia feel any better.
Actually, I was heartbroken.
Garcia is the chair of the La Crosse County Democrats and was working to keep the seat held by Democrats since the 1990s.
I think we overperformed from kind of pundit prognostication. I was expecting a win.
Democrats' loss in the third will be debated likely until the next congressional election 2 years from now. A national spending group pulled its ad buy just weeks before the election, frustrating some Democrats.
It would have made the entire difference. It would have made the entire difference.
There were no debates between Brad Pfaff and Derek Van Orden, which meant there is a vacuum, only left to be filled by political ads.
One of the things that Derek Van Orden relied on was that he was a Republican, but his specific and very extreme views were not that well known, especially in the north part of the district where Brad Pfaff has never represented people.
Garcia wanted more ad space to be able to paint that narrative of the Republican Van Orden.
If I could go back in time in both the Senate race and the House race and get more national investment in these races, I think it could have made a huge difference.
State Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says Democrats could have had a chance at the U.S. Senate race as well.
That's, I think, the big lesson going forward. Never write off Wisconsin Democrats, even when the chips are down.
And Democrats in western Wisconsin are not writing off the third CD either. They say Van Orden has a target on his back now.
He's going to be vulnerable because he's going to have a voting track record now. We're going to be able to actually point to votes and say, look, this is not the person you thought you were voting for.
Reporting from Madison, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Van Orden ran against Ron Kind 2 years ago, losing by a little more than 2.5 points. He beat Democrat Brad Pfaff on Tuesday by more than 3.5 points.